Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. This morning we're going to talk a little bit more about the cultural coup. The censorship has gotten ridiculous this week. By the time you see this, who knows what's going to happen next. Parler, a social media website, is being removed from the internet. Now, this isn't you're free to do your own business. You don't have to use us, so it's not a First Amendment violation. There's no censorship online issue. This is literally cartels, groups of companies coming together to tell a social media platform that they don't like them because they are willing to host people that are now considered undesirable, and you will stop hosting those people, or we will shut off your services. All of your services. No access to the Play Store, no server farm, no banking. That's not... Man, even libertarians don't allow that is part of the freedom of corporations and shit, okay? That's way, way off the deep end. All right, now, watching the left defend this sort of this style of capitalism, this cartel Soviet, it is really almost Soviet style of capitalism is, that's bizarre, man, That's bizarre. But the whole thing's bizarre, After 9/11, and that's really a big turning point, but it's not the only one. Okay, we've been building a surveillance state since the 80s. Technology's been allowing it, so people have, governments have been doing it. And it got really bad in the 90s. Okay, the President Clinton, I'm not going to excuse Bush, okay? He was the first president in the 90s. I went to war with him. I'm not going to excuse him, all right? But Clinton, the Janet Reno era, the Clinton presidency was where we really started pushing the surveillance state and the First Amendment issues, okay? That's where we still really got into arresting people for printing the wrong documents or distributing the wrong information. Literally, this was really big in the firearms world and the medical world. The medical world was much worse, okay? But even in journalism, if you publish or distribute the wrong information, you can be prosecuted. They'll track you, and they do track you. The tracking and the surveillance issues, massive under Clinton. A lot of people don't realize that, 2001 and the Patriot Act didn't come out of nowhere, okay? That whole idea of a surveillance state didn't spring full-grown from the forehead of the evil demon Bush, all right? As far as it goes, in that situation, Bush was probably a better president than Obama would have been. Harris, hell, Reno, Hillary Clinton. I can name plenty of people in politics who would have done a worse job, a much more offensive job in that situation at that moment in history. So be careful where you go with Bush on this one, all right? I know it's popular to hate him, but, and he absolutely set the stage for Obama. But be careful how much you make this into a Bush thing instead of a system thing. The system, the American administrative state, the system of American government has been pushing the surveillance state since the 90s. After 9/11, it got really bad. So after 2001, things just got ramped up to 11, right? No-fly lists, random people getting put on no-fly lists. No-fly lists, of course, being used as corrupt means of getting back at people or, dissing people that you don't like or find politically unpopular. That's always been there. That's always been a big deal. Get yourself on the no-fly list. Just publish the wrong article. Well, guess what? That was just like a practice run. All right, and now we have the full corporate. I don't know what to call it, corporate state involved, which is bizarre. So in the last overnight, 30 hours, the internet censorship, the purge, has gotten ridiculous. They're denying alternative media sites access to the internet. They're trying to take down people's servers, okay? All people's internet service contracts. Not just, we're going to remove Parler from the Google Play Store and the Apple Store because we've decided that we don't like anyone who's willing to allow free speech. Right, okay. Whatever. People are comparing this to Jonestown. People are comparing the ability to question election processes, or elitist advantage seeking, or administrative state actions, or non-elective legal actions. People are equating the ability to question these things with the Jonestown suicide. People are seriously making that comparison, trying to push that together into the same thing in your mind. Seriously, people are doing this. Okay, so freedom of thought is now suicidal cult behavior. Freedom of thought is now suicidal cult behavior, and you're buying this. Wow. All right, let's pack things up just a little bit here. The Patriot Act sucked, okay? The abuses, you may or may not be a fan of WikiLeaks, Assange, or Snowden. Okay, I think Snowden's more important in this particular context. Assange is great for people who want to masturbate over war crimes or whatever without knowing what went on in the situation. And that's always a big deal when you're dealing with war footage, is you really have to know what's going on in the situation. One camera angle never covers everything. Anyway, as the famous politician says, irregardless of that, not a word. What Snowden did, I think, was more important in terms of the surveillance state. The Patriot Act led to abuses of power that are legendary. You really don't understand how bad it is, how bad it was. Trump, the thing about Obama is that Obama made it worse. Obama made it worse to the point where we started, I don't want to defend bad guys, but there's a difference between taking an American citizen into custody, even if you have to use a SEAL team to do so, and bringing him back to the U.S. for a trial. That's different from sending a drone strike and killing him and his family in the middle of the desert. Like, there's a difference there. And I can understand if you want to make a case for justifying that. Okay, there are necessary things when you're dealing with a war situation that are sometimes a little odd. Killing kids does not usually make it into acceptable oddities, just in my opinion. At the same time, the case I'm thinking of in question is a U.S. citizen who is an Al-Qaeda operative and his 16-year-old son, and you may want to do the, my kids thing, but a 16-year-old male is functionally an adult in most of the world. It's not, why was he there? Was he an active participant? There's some questions to ask, but it wasn't like bombing babies. Okay, I get that, and I've been out there, and I understand that there are a lot of questions when it comes to war that don't ever have civilian answers. But that wasn't Obama's only run at taking American citizens and denying them basic constitutional protections. Obama did it really bad. Obama got really bad, okay? Obama went after journalists. Obama expanded the surveillance state incredibly. Okay, it's amazing, all right? Everything Snowden warned you about, everything that Congress ended up going into session and like having testimony over, having hearings on, all that stuff got worse under Obama. Different programs, different names, different secrecy. Obama wasn't really good for this. And the one big thing about Trump, okay, and you can hate the guy all you want, but the one big thing is he really didn't play well with the people who think that a surveillance state and a controlled information state is the way to go move forward. Okay, Trump does not deal well with intelligence agencies who want to play active spy games combined with active propaganda games. Okay, he just doesn't play well with that. And what we have right now is we have a multinational corporate state. Okay, the corporations have gotten together and they have decided what you will see and what you will hear and what websites are allowed on the internet. And the last couple of days here have shown that I'm not exaggerating. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. People are being removed, and we're talking. I mean, Parler is getting removed because Devin Nunes is on it, not because the evil Satan Hitler is promoting Satanism. Okay, whatever the fuck they think they're gonna give as an excuse, it's being removed because Ted Cruz, Devin Nunes, and a couple other congressmen post on it. That's why it's being removed. We have no political speaking space that allows all sides. That's not a free country. We are moving rapidly towards a very, very Soviet-style system, and yeah, I think that needs to be resisted. I think that really needs to be resisted. Trying to silence all the dissidents when there's 70 million of them is way over the top. Okay, that needs to be resisted. Like, shut off your Facebook account in protest. Stop using Amazon. Hey, Amazon, you're going to take down servers of social media sites, I'll boycott you. Fine, whatever it is, do something. Even if it's just ordering different coffee, everything counts. Make sure people know that you're doing it and why you're doing it and that you're aware of what's going on. We now have the media feeding propaganda, and it's absolutely propaganda to people with a single party state, and I mean that in the federal capital S state, single party state. Okay, there is right now Republicans are being told they have no power, no voice, no acceptable place in government at all. They're literally talking about removing members of Congress, okay, from the House, for not going along with the Democrats, for not saying the right things, for not having the right positions, for questioning the election. And you may not be permitted to question the election on social media or on YouTube, but I think that it is a worse answer to be banned from political debate over electoral processes than it is to have people overreacting to the possibilities of FRAUD. the word you can't mention now, right? And it's a shorthand word for all sorts of cheating and irregularities, but it I watched people rant about that in 2016, and I watched social media vow to interfere in elections to prevent election interference. They literally went and interfered in the most recent election openly, avidly, published position papers on how they're going to do it, what they're going to attempt to do. Do you not? No, you don't. Unless you're a veteran, probably specifically my era of veteran, you don't remember anything about Eastern Europe. You don't remember what any of this stuff looked like. You have no concept of of what losing these freedoms is going to mean. I hope you figure it out before it's too late. Okay? This level of censorship, this level of creating a dissident population that is not allowed access to society is gonna bite you fast. It's gonna bite you really hard and really fast. And I just hope you figure it out, whichever side of the aisle you're on, because you need to either be resisting strenuously now, or you need to be backing off and thinking about individual freedom and liberty now. I'm sick of fighting with people who say that any resistance is going to look bad and make it worse on us. Laying down for tyranny is not going to do you any good. Stay sideways.